Welcome to PhD with Women on It, Hack the Future. My name is Beata Young, and today's PhD Positivity Hack Delivered will be by our guest, Nayra Hashem. Topic: How to build beautiful applications with Flutter, an easy workflow for beginners. Episode 97 starts here, and we are speaking from the future because it's early morning in Turks and Caicos, where I am streaming from, whereas Nayra is streaming from. Nayra, where in the
I am
world are
streaming
you?
from Aden, the Republic of Yemen. So it's like 2 p.m. here, and I am using like the fastest internet in the world. So we are doing this. I am Nayra Hashem, and thank you for having me for the second time.
Excellent, Nayra. I am delighted to have you, and thank you so much for using the library because, just like me yesterday, I was really struggling with mobile network because I have to rely on slow flow in TCI. Unfortunately, they still didn't connect our house to the fast internet. Anyway, let me remind you, this is a grassroots community that focuses on women on IT, an inclusive forum of women in technology, startups, and female leaders who are supported by men as well. And I bring
Yeah.
heart to that hustle because empathy is my mojo, and empathy is critical when you are building beautiful applications with Flutter, with Nayra. Building a good user experience is a holy grail for any application. The design of app is often the most important part of the overall experience that customers have with it. The user experience, the way you make your user feel, think, and act while using your app can make or break an app. And it's something you should always be thinking about when creating new designs. If you're looking to build an app that looks great but don't know where to start, Flutter is the solution. And Nayra is bringing that solution to us today. Our second time guest, Nayra Hashem, will be talking us through a simple workflow that would help beginners build beautiful apps with Flutter. Nayra is a user experience designer and mobile developer who self studied to learn mobile development. One of the frameworks she studied is Flutter, an open source framework by Google for building beautiful applications. Currently, Nayra is finishing her Google Professional Certificate in User Experience Design, and she's also fellow Woman Tech Makers Ambassador. Nayra, thank you so much for accepting our invitation second time.
Thank
And
you.
let's start with a simple question. What does user experience designer do?
Great. So starting with your question, I'm going to talk about like the most common fields about UX designer. So a UX is a user experience. So UX is different from the UI. So let's start presenting. I'm going to talk about those main points, like will be the first our UX overview, then the UX stages, and what is making a good UX design. After that, I'm going with Figma design tool and why having Flutter. Then I'm going to mix UX with Flutter, and we are going to make a live coding session. So let's start. My background, as Beata already said, I am the owner of Hashem of Development. It's a freelancer development company, and I have already finished the Google UX professional certificate. I am also a Women Tech Maker ambassador and the GDG Adan organizer. So this is some examples of the mobiles that I have made using Flutter. And let's go ahead with the UX overview. So what is the difference between a UX experience and a UX interface? The UX experience is the overall experience, which means that when you are going to make an application, you are going to make the user centered, thinking about how the user is going to use your application and what is the most important buttons and images, text, how you are going to fit them on the screen, and etc. And the user interface, it's more about like layouts, visual designs, branding, colors, and that other stuff. So I want to start about jobs in the UX field. So first we have like interaction designer who is going to work with the full design process from beginning to the end. Then we have also the visual designer, the person who take care about fonts and colors. Motion designer about the transactions, and UX writer is going to take care about how to write the app language. UX researcher, we have to take care about how to learn and make the team know more about the application. And we have production designer who's going to connect the team, the designer team with the engineering team. UX engineer make the design move forward, and finally UX program manager who will be the manager of the project. So moving forward, we are going to talk about the UX stages or framework. So to make a great design, you will have a framework to take care of. So this framework we have like empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and to take care of every section of this. Empathize, from the name of empathize, is about to learn how the user feel about the application. Meaning, when you have an application, you already need to solve a problem. So the user need to feel like you are doing this application for them, not for you. So you have to feel the user, not like feeling your
And it seems we have lost Naira for a
yeah,
second. Uh,
um,
and
yeah,
here we are. Excellent.
yeah.
Sorry.
I just want to share my screen to view the persona I'm going to talk about here.
Yes, we
Yeah,
still have the screen, Naira. Excellent.
yeah. Now the persona are you can see this, right?
Yes, we can see perfectly. So you finished about empathizing and how it
I'm
is
still
important
in
for users. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in the empathize phase. So in the empathize phase, you have to like imagine a person and to put some information to make it like a real person. So here, like I'm making Mike this kid, and like a hometown, family, etc. So when you are going to make this persona, you are going to really feel how the user is going to like moving forward through your application. So you are going to make it goals, and my application here was sandwichy. So this application I want the user to make their own sandwich. So when I made this persona, I just focused like if you have kids and like you wanted uh, and you wanted those kids to like order by themselves the food, so they will have to like picking the ingredients. They won't be able like to read them. So making a persona will make it clear for you to make your application not only accessible for the elders people. After making the persona, after moving forward from the empathize, you are going to see the define phase. The define phase is about to make which problem are most important to be solved. So you are going to create a problem statement. So what is a problem statement? A problem statement is like making the word like this person is going through this problem and the solution is. So I'm going to make like 3 or 4 problem statements to see what is actually going to work for your application. After define, you are going to make the ideate phase. So in the ideate phase, as the name says, it's going to be like brainstorming for as many ideas as possible. And in this stage, you may be able to do like the design sprint. A design sprint is like making the teams going through 5 days of working 5 hours to make a sample design for your application. So after this phase, we are going to move forward to the prototype. In the prototype phase, we are going to make an early model, and we have two types. The low fidelity prototype is sketching the designs, and the high fidelity prototype when you are going to make them using Figma. We are going to use the Figma tool because Figma is free and an easy tool to use. So after making the prototype, we are going through the test. Testing your application is really the most important phase because testing will really get an answers from real people, not like personas. You are going to imagine the problem and you are going to imagine the people. So testing should be like for all the ages, and in the testing phase, you are going to create a key performance indicators or KPIs. The KPIs you are going to use is for every single question, like how about the user flow in this application? How about the colors in this application? How about you going from one screen to other screen? So you're going to like list all the questions that's included in your application. After we are going finishing like these five phases, we have this question: what makes a good UX design? A good UX design only made after you are going to design something and make it user centered. Make it user centered meaning like taking off all the bias from your mind and focusing about the user and what is going to need. So we have like accessibility, making design for people with special needs, whether they have a permanent or temporary, and digital literacy, familiar with technologies, meaning when you are going to making an app, you should keep in mind that there will be people using your application for the first time in their lives. So you should make it simple and easy to access. Use assistive technology, any technologies that help people with disabilities. After making this in mind and keeping this in mind, you are going to do some researches in your area and what is good fit for your application and another phase of testing. Now, we have already discussed the Figma design tool. We are going to design the low fidelity prototype in it and the high fidelity prototype, connecting and running Figma design and sharing the design and file for multi-working. Sharing the design will make it easy for you because the team will just discuss every point of the design, and we are going to make sure that your design going to be like you want it. So why Flutter? Flutter is an easy platform to create application, and you really can design whatever you want with it because of the easy and simple um, packages in it. So Flutter is started like 2018, and it's improving by its community because the community is going to like Flutter much more year by year. And I think Flutter is going to be famous like 2 or 3 years ahead because everyone in this or in the coding criteria we love to learn Flutter because you can like design the multi platforms in it. You can design a iOS application, Android application, Mac OS application, Windows application, and the web application and Linux application. So Flutter is going to be like a good start for everyone will wanted to create or learn the coding language. So here is some information about Flutter. Going to the next slide, here is like if you are going to like compare React Native with Flutter, Flutter is growing from 2019 to 22, like 93%, but React Native is still in the same stage, and the other languages are still in the same stage too. So, like I said before, it's growing. Plus, the community of the Flutter is getting bigger. You will have like Flutter community in Slack, Twitter, Facebook, and other platforms like Telegram maybe. So UX with Flutter is really something cool. I mean, like the designs are more flexible. You can make rounded containers easily. You can use the shades easily, color shades too. You can make the transactions easy, animation, and other stuff. So after this, we are going to make a live coding. A live coding will be explaining a simple login screen that will be designed in Flutter and can be applied in both the device or mobile device and the web and also in the Windows. In this presentation, I'm going to make it only for the Windows because I don't have like emulator for the mobile device, but it can actually be made too as an APK file to use it in the mobile device. So if you are going to talk about Flutter, as we mentioned, it's easy. And the coding, if I'm going to explain the Flutter code, it uses the Dart language. So Flutter is like making designs, colors, styles, etc. And Dart is making the code. So if I want to just go back to slides, like this is slide, sorry. Yeah, so we are going to import the Flutter material first and making it stateful widget because we are going to make some changes here in the text field, and we are going to use a circular avatar and putting an image from the internet, and we are going to use an elevated button. So this design will be just made in less than 30 minutes. We are going to explain how easy to use Flutter and apply the designs in it, how easy to use the properties of the designs, how easy to use widgets. So talking about widgets, Flutter is created by a lot of widgets, meaning the scaffold in the background, this is the blue one, is a widget, and this is like the home widget of a page. So in this widget, we have a column. So if you can see the image and the text field here for the name and the password and the login button. So this is a column from up to bottom. So yeah, I want to open the shared screen. Yeah. So let's start with coding here. So I'm going just from the start. Yeah, here. So when creating a new application, you are going just to download this VS Code. The VS Code is the IDE or the environment for building a Flutter application. So I'm going to add the extension. The extension here is already added, but if you are going like a new Flutter coder, you are going to download the Flutter extension. After downloading the extension, you will be like Apple to be view, command palette, and you will be able to make a new project. So I already made this project, and after making the project, it could be, yeah. So you are going to see the main screen, this one. So if you are going like opening the main screen created by the Flutter team, my homepage, this one. So okay, wanted to make the home screen first. So let's start with the login page. So I'm going to create a new file and call it login page dot Dart. As we said that Dart is the language that's connected with the Flutter platform. So here I'm going to import first the material, yeah. Material means that you are going to use the Flutter framework. So I'm going to call the stateful widget and call it login page 2 because I already have one, the one that you are seeing it. And here I'm going to change the page again, page 2, because the main page, it takes you to whatever you want in this app. So I'm going here. This is a dark screen because I'm not applying anything in this container. This is a stateful widget, and we started with widgets as we see here. So it returns a container. I'm going to change this container to scaffold. Scaffold is the main widget because we have a lot of stuff in it. Like if you want to use an app bar, we can only use it in the scaffold. Like I'm doing this and Control S. You see this an app bar, and also the color changed to the white. So in the scaffold, I'm going to add container and calling the property body container. So scaffold is a widget. So every widget have a property. So we can only see the properties if you put it like the mouse on the name of the widget. Then if you are going to scroll, you are going to see all the properties of the widgets. So here we have a body. Body means the space inside this. So we have a container. In this container, we're going to add a color because container have a property called color. We are going to see here. So color, let's call colors dot any color we want it. Let's give it a height and save. We can see the container that we called here. A height of 20 and the width like infinity because we haven't made a width to it. So if we want to call a width, do something like that. This is our container. It takes it to the left top corner. So if you wanted to make it to the center, there is an easy added here. We can just click on the widget and click on this globe and wrap it with center. So after wrapping it with center, it will be like in the center. So we wanted actually to make the layout that we showed it before. So to make this layout, I'm going to add this container in a column because we want to add more widgets. I will just let this container for now. Here I'm going to add text form field. This text form field, if I'm going to save it like that, and see, this is a form field that I can put an information inside. In this field, I'm going to add a decoration. So to see here, you can see the properties of this. And in these properties, we have the decoration here. So in this decoration, we have input. Or sorry, I wanted the output border. And let's open these brackets and call the border side. And let's call that border side, sorry, with the radius. Sorry for this. Let's make another one for the password here. And if you are going to see this to the corner, we can only add a padding and wrap this column again with padding. And if we're going to save it, you can see that there is space here. So If you want to make the padding more, you can just change the number here. Yeah, that's good. You can make it like 24. So after that, I'm going to add a button. So in the button widget, we have two required properties. To keep in mind, any required properties we should put it inside, meaning that the code won't run if you haven't called this required properties. So here I have two required. The first required is on pressed because it is a button, so it needs to call the on pressed function. But here I'm going to make it like an empty function. The second required is child. So I'm going like to do the child and put it as a text. I can add really any widget, not only a text. So here I'm going to add like log in here. Let's see it. So if there is a much space between this and this, there is not enough space, I'm going to add size box here and give it a height of the same padding that I have, 24. And make sure to add this and save it. So this blue color is actually coming from my main page here. Here. So there is a primary swatch that makes your application related to one color. So if I'm going to make it a red and save it, I'm going to make the application all red. So if I want to change this color to the color that I want, I'm going to change this to color scheme. This color scheme have color from seed. So I have to actually call a seed color. Seed color is like a base color. So I'm going to add colors dot any color for now. Then I can change the color from this small square and I can really pick any color I want from here. Like this one, I guess. And Control S. The color here is the same here. So I have seed color. I have also, I can add primary color. So I can add as many colors as I can. So let's make it this far here. And come back to our page. Going to add this lovely code. So in the text form, I want to add some decoration. Okay, sorry for that. Border is in the decoration. Okay. Let's add a decoration first and save this. So now we have a rounded here, but there is no color actually. I'm going to add a color from here. Fill this because I'm just removing any borders. You can see that there is a white. I'm going just to change this white to something related, like purple. Let's see this. There is not enough space between this container and this text field, so I'm going to add another sized box here. Make sure to make the height is the same, 24, and closing this tag. Now, let's copy this decoration to the next text field here, the password one, and save it. So again, we don't have space in between, so we're going to add another size box and give it a height of 24 and close it. Let's see it now. Perfect. So I'm going to add anything here. It's going to be added. Now, I'm missing a hint because no one will be like knowing that this is for the name and this is for the password. So here, the input decoration, I'm going to add hint text and say it like username, and the other one I'm going to add hint text and saying password. I also have like a label, and we can do user name, and here we have label too. What's wrong with the label? It's the widget. So the label returns a widget. So I'm going to add text and add this inside the text. Cool. Let's see now. I have a username and I have a label above. I don't like the label. Just getting off this. So I'm going to remove it. Nice. And the password, I think having a password meaning that you should like obscure this text. So making an obscure text is one of the text form field properties here. I'm going to like see this obscure text. So if I'm going to like do this obscure text and making like true, let's see the result. See, now we have obscure text. So if I'm going to add a code, meaning that when I'm going to click on some button here, I'm going to open this text and the visibility eye. To make myself clear here, I'm going to add railing icon here. Let's see from here the properties that we have. Okay, where are you? I guess I am having it here, the input decoration. Prefix, yeah. So I have a prefix and a suffix. The prefix is before my before my name, and the suffix is after it. So I'm going to add suffix here. This suffix returns a widget. So my widget will be icon, and this icon has an icon. Sorry, it's a small one. An icon. Sorry for that. Here. So my icon will have icons dot like visibility eye visibility. Great. Let's check here. I will have an icon here. Yeah, great. I don't know what's wrong with this. It's an icon that returns icon. Let's write here again. Icon. Okay. Have icons. Let me check. I don't know from where this error came. So yeah, this is the same. Oh, sorry. So again, icon. I need to make this work really. Icons dot visibility. Yeah, now I guess it's perfect. So this is the visibility. Now, if I want to make this visible and not visible, I need to change it to a button. Because of that, I'm going to change my suffix to an icon button. An icon button will make this actually a button to be clickable. So icon button will request, as we said before, on rest and will request an icon. So the icon part, I'm going to call this an icon and return it as an icon too, like that. Put this here and adding the on rest function. So here it is. Now I have an icon button, but this button actually doesn't work. To make this button work, I'm going to change this word to a variable. What is a variable? So a variable is something that I can change it whenever I want. So to add a variable of an icon name type, I'm going to add an icon data and call it fuzzy icon. Return the one visible. And I'm going just to change it like visibility off, because when you are going to start typing, it should be like not visible. And here I'm going to call this busy icon. Let's call it called. See, now this is not visible. So this dots or this obscure text coming from the name true. So to make this false, the word will be like visible. So we need to make an integer here or a boolean that can be changed like we want it. So I'm going to cut this off and make variable from the type pool and make it like fuzzy pool and return the false. Sorry, it's a small one. And make it true. So whenever I started my application, it should be fuzzy pool true, like that. Now in this button, the thing in Flutter, the cool thing in the stateful widget in Flutter, that we can make something called set state. So in set state function, already made function, anything you want to change at the moment, you can change it from here. So if I wanted to change this according to this button, can just call the code from here. So if this is, or this icon is turned off, then turn it back on. Let's see how I'm going here. If fuzzy icon is equal to icons dot visibility dot come on, yeah, visibility off, then turn this icon on. Here, make this visible, and in the other hand, make the fuzzy boolean, make it equal to true. Now it is defined, Baba. Okay, else if the fuzzy icon is equal icon, what? Sorry, it's icons here. It's equal to this. Then you should just change the icon to not visible and this is the force and saving. So let's refresh it. Just 1 minute. Now I have a username here and I have a password here. First, it's not visible and the icon is not visible. And you just need to recheck the code. Okay. Yeah.
That's a lot of tinkering and checking and going back and checking again. I am mindful of the time passing. We only have less than 20
10 minutes.
minutes available. Now, Nayra, what I find fascinating is it's basically
Going back to
scroll
the screen.
down menu. So it is very easy to tinker around and check and go back and do it again and have
Yeah.
it in front of you to test as you go. One thing I wanted to ask you, when did you start
Mhm.
learning Flutter? Because you're pretty advanced now.
Yes, still beginner. 2020. I started to like learn Flutter from there was an Angela U course on Udemy. It was an online course, so I just like took it for 4 months, and like I did several application by my own. So I think that made it easier for me, like making application and making mistakes over and over again will always make you improve yourself in programming.
Absolutely. And in case of the sprint, you mentioned sprint, which
Yeah, the
is
design
taking
sprint.
4 or 5 days. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Design phase. It's actually Google Ventures launched this as a test bed for going through all the designs. So that's very useful because for a big corporation like Google, it's useful to have something that is fast, learn and recover from that rather than tinker for a couple of months and not going anywhere because you can't test it, you can't see it. Sometimes it means obviously that you will have to stay late. Now, Nayra, I know you're working hard. You have a stable job. You work, and then after working, you come home and you tinker around. Tell us, what's your routine? How do you keep motivated to still try and test and do all the stuff you're doing? Did we lose Nayra here? Or am I lost in the stream? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, hopefully Nayra will be back soon. What is fascinating, ladies and gentlemen, we had Nayra a couple of months ago, and she actually walked us through all the things she's achieved. And it's very, very encouraging to see young lady who is not only working for the justice ministry, she's also self-learning. She's tinkering around with very patchy network. I mean, I've been there. I had a couple of energy cuts, a couple of weak internet connection. Now I know we can definitely relate to struggles in life, but the thing that is very, very good and very important is to keep trying. Hello, Nayra. Hello again. We have you back here. I was just praising your
Hi again.
tenacity.
Just, I'm
How
sorry.
that's okay. I was praising your tenacity, the fact that you not only work full time, but also have the time and have the courage to learn at your free time.
Yeah. That's something cool because you know that
Okay, we might have another problem with internet, but before you switch off because you're so annoyed with this problem, I would like to remind you that we had Flutter training with Leszek Król, and here is Nayra. She's
Yeah,
back.
coming in.
So episode 45, how to create mobile applications with Flutter. Leszek is a long-term developer. I mean, he's been in the field for about 15 years. However, Flutter, as Nayra mentioned, has been with us much shorter. And there are some basics that are very useful. Nayra, can you walk us through what was very similar in other programming languages?
So like Dart is already talking his or it is coding basics from C++. So anyone with knowledge of with C++ will be easy for it with Dart. Flutter taking
And here we are, back again to
yeah,
struggles.
I'm sorry. We already have
That's
this
okay.
internet problem. Yeah. So I think
Absolutely.
as I was saying, like Flutter is similar to CSS and HTML. I think the one who loves design will love Flutter. As I always say, like if you are a Flutter developer, you don't have to be like a programmer. You can have like two persons in your team, one for the designing and one for the programming.
That's very useful to know that if you know C++, or if you indeed have power and passion for technology, that's easy to do. You just have to try and learn. Nayra, we are back. I think
Yeah,
you're still here in the room.
I'm
I'm sorry about that connectivity issues, but
I'm
it was
really
really
sorry.
fascinating. Um, I guess it's the end of your presentation. One
Yeah.
thing we were wondering with ladies, actually, we are chatting here and we are admiring your skills. What skills do I need to be Flutter developer? Mariani is asking.
Cool. So I think just you have to be passionate about learning new things. You should have a good will to learn and to dig into coding because searching is everything and talking with community too. And from my experience that ladies are awesome in learning new stuff. I'm actually happy to say that
Yes, ladies are awesome in developing new stuff. And it's
they
so
are
useful to have groups.
yeah, I just wanted to say that the students that I am learning Flutter, they are surrounding me here in this workstation because we have the course after this live. Yeah, I
Excellent.
guess
Are
because
you,
you can see them. Yeah,
absolutely, I can see them. And what I was wondering, what is life in general in Jordan, in Amman? I know that there is some military uncertainty, and what's it like to live on daily basis in Amman?
wait, I am not in Amman. I am in Aden, Yemen, actually, in the southern
Okay.
here. Yeah, yeah. This is the first thing to say. So if you are going to
Ah,
ask the same question here, I think it's cool. يعني خلاص we are already go through it. يعني. There is no much problems. Problems are everywhere in the world now. Seeing earthquakes and
yes, absolutely. And war in Ukraine, and there are much more difficult life in Europe than in
yeah,
Jordan. One thing that we have to be mindful is definitely connectivity problems,
yeah,
but let's face it, I live in a very developed country, supposedly, and I still wait for the internet connection from December last year. So, and we are 1st of March today. This is a recording, and I hope you enjoyed Nayra's explanation. Now, Nayra, what is your encouragement to ladies who want to enter technology field? What would you say could keep you going?
Like learn a lot and see a lot of videos that have much information. I feel like I said before, maybe ladies are not into technology, but from my experience these days, I think when you give technology to ladies, they do much more according to other people. Like when
we definitely don't give up. As we can see today, we are struggling with internet, but we never give up.
Yeah, this is the only frustrating thing to do, but it's okay.
There you go. There you go. So, Nayra, one thing I want to run home down is the fact that you're also Women Tech Makers Ambassador. And I would encourage ladies who are in technology and want to have recognition to apply to become Women Tech Makers Ambassador, because not only you get a funky gizmos, you can show us your great bottle from Women Tech Makers.
Yeah.
But definitely the support group you're getting, and every time you're meeting awesome ladies from all over the world who can support you. Absolutely, like you, Nayra, as well, and who are going to give you that boost of energy that is necessary when internet is down. Now, can Flutter run offline, or is it only online app platform? And we have to wait for that answer.
Yeah, sorry. So Flutter first will need some online files to be downloaded at the beginning, but after that you can just work offline as much as you want.
So you don't need connectivity. You can run it in your home offline, and you can enjoy some YOLO. Joy of missing out is definitely the way to go, because all that noise between getting Facebook messages and so on is definitely not helpful when you're trying to learn new things.
Yeah, that's correct.
Absolutely. Nayra, you've been working in the Justice Ministry for how long now?
Like 2 years, from 2022. I guess the same year.
Excellent. So
the IT team,
So, inshallah, hopefully you will progress in your career. Now, what's the future holding for Nayra? What would you like to do in, let's
Are you still here?
And I'm back in the studio. Hello, everybody. That was a very challenging recording. Nayra, I hope you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here, waiting faithfully.
Excellent. So, Nayra, thank you so much for
Thank
that
you, Beata,
great
and I hope
chat.
I can see you again and again. I love having this session with you. It really improves
Absolutely.
my English speaking skills.
Oh, I would be more than happy to help you in any way and shape and form I can help you with. And I definitely would like to see you back again. Hopefully, the connectivity will be better in the future. However,
Yeah.
Nayra, I am very grateful for your knowledge sharing today. And I'm grateful for your previous appearance. Last time, ladies and gentlemen, we had Nayra just a couple of months ago, and Nayra was talking about how she self-taught, how she learned new stuff, and she's got this awesome community of supporters. And episode 75, from tech lover to woman in tech, is definitely one to check out, ladies and gentlemen. That was our guest, Nayra. And from me, today lesson is you keep trying, you keep learning, and never give up. And
Yeah.
if
And have a
you
supportive
can't change,
community.
absolutely. If you
Yeah.
can't change things, change your attitude. Thank you
Yes.
so much. It's
Thank you.
today's lesson is definitely one to remember. And next week we're going to talk about how to connect your brand to your public in an exciting,
Great.
newsworthy way. Thank you, Nayra. Have a
Thank you,
great day
Beata. You too.
wherever in the world you are. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.